Do you have problems with concert lighting, stage lighting? It could be even your kids' high school play lighting. Indoor lighting is a big pain. Sometimes people come out looking like lobsters or purple dinosaurs or even mutants from Mars. How do you solve that problem? Well, we're going to address that in this video today. I'm Robert Maxfield. I'm a concert and music photographer in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, and I've been one for a really long time. And welcome to Max Concert Photography, where we talk everything concert photography related. Okay, this video comes about from a request from a subscriber about how to preserve skin tones in concert photography, and it can be a beast. And I think back to years and years ago when I saw Edgar Winter perform Frankenstein, and his white hair and white skin just glowed, whatever color the spotlights were from the stage lighting. Sometimes he'd have blue hair and green hair and red hair and whatever, and I was like, wow, that is really cool. So, but for a photographer, for someone shooting pictures, it's a beast. So how do you cure this problem? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you, the only automatic setting on my camera, the only automatic setting is white balance. And I let the camera decide what the color is going to look like. You can play with setting it daylight anywhere from 5,000 Kelvin to 5,500 Kelvin. But I just let the camera pick whatever it's going to pick. So now I'm going to show you an example of a raw, just normally shot photo this way. This shot is of Stoney LaRue. He looks like that purple dinosaur you see on TV kind of thing. And it's obviously natural the way this looks, and it's terrible. But I'm going to show you what I did to correct it in the finished product. As you can see, he's very pink and blue, and this is what the camera actually saw. You could leave it like this because this is the truth, or you can modify it and give yourself a little better skin tone range, and that's what we're going to do in the next shot. Okay, so this is the corrected photograph, and as you can see, it looks a little more what the eye normally believes the scene looks like. It's not the truth, but it's more like what we would accept as human beings. Okay, so this is an extreme case, and you can see the settings are quite radical, and you just have to kind of season and play with it till you get it to where it's to taste. The next photo I'm going to show you is a friend of mine, Susie Taylor, and she was shot at the Wiley Opry. And not always is the lighting on the stage, it may look normal, it may look fine to you, but there are some attributes of the artist that really just all of a sudden pop right out. And let me tell you what, Susie is a redhead, but she is not this red, and you have to make adjustments not only for her skin, but for her hair color on top of that. Her dress color may look normal, but definitely her skin tone and her hair is not. It looks really amplified, and we need to make the correction. Lighting sometimes looks normal because the human being mind is accustomed to this color lighting. In your kitchen, you have variable lighting. You will not see green lighting or blue lighting pretty much in your kitchen. So what we want to do here is keep the blue in her dress and the colors in her watch and her jewelry intact. This shot is what the mind actually thinks is more realistic and more what you would normally expect. And this is more the finished product. The dress is still blue. It's a little muted, but it is still acceptable blue. The jewelry and the accessories that she is wearing are also acceptable. They're pretty much what you would expect. These are the settings for this shot, and they're a little more conservative. The color temperature is closer to daylight. It's at 5,000 Kelvin, which is just a little bit bluer than normal daylight. Also, the harshness of the tint, the vibrance, and the saturation have been also handled. The next shot I'm going to show you is a Benoist King, and people with dark skin are incredibly hard to photograph because the black or dark backgrounds, contrasting lights. In the original photograph, he looks purple, and he's a dark purple, and that causes issues. What I did in this particular photograph is he was wearing a bright lemon yellow beret, and that's what I gauged the shot off of. As you can see here, he's kind of blue looking, and that's not natural. Also, his bright yellow beret is not the right color, and neither is his guitar strap. So in this photo, I kind of toned down the blue and increased a little bit of the warmth in it, and that seemed to make it a little better. Also, it made his lemon yellow beret pop a little bit. And you can see from the settings here, this is fairly conservative. I put the color temperature to 5,000 Kelvin. I increased a little bit of the tint and reduced the vibrance and the saturation, increased clarity, and dehaze a little bit. Okay, so what happens when you get a small stage with a lot of lights that are different colors and a mixture? In the next shot I'm going to show you, you've got a guitar player in the back who's bright blue. You've got the artist herself right in the front, and she's kind of warm, but her arm is purple. And what do? What kind of adjustments do you make? This is Chaz Marie at Tolbert's Chili Parlor in Grapevine, Texas. And as you can see, one whole side of her is purple, and that can cause an issue. As you can see, the guitarist is blue, the drummer is purple, her arm is purple, but this is the natural way it looks. And all I did was tweak it just a little bit to tone it down. In the next series of photographs, I'm going to show you one of the toughest conditions that I've ever probably been in. And that was at the Dallas International Guitar Festival this year. It was raining outside. It was on a makeshift stage. The lights were these little light bars, and they worked. Yeah, okay. The ceiling tiles were missing. There was a big doorway off to the left-hand side of the stage that it was green outside, and there was thunder and lightning and all kinds of different color lighting coming from that. It was a mess. But here's Larry Mitchell, and this is what we have done with this set. He's a little purple and pink in this shot, and you can see you got black and black and black, and you got a little orange, and you got some gray and purple. There's a lot of tonal problems in this one. I took out a little bit of the blue and that kind of tone and cleaned it up a little bit, and this is how it finished out. And as you can see here, I increased the temperature to 5,000 Kelvin, did a little adjustment with tint, vibrance, and saturation, and adjusted your clarity and your dehaze. In none of the photographs did I convert anything to black and white. I don't convert to black and white unless I see it or like it in black and white in the first place. Converting black and white because the colors are tough, it's just a cop-out to me. I don't believe in doing that. So it takes patience, it takes a little playing with, and it takes a little adjustment. But I always start out roughly with my camera set at auto white balance. The first thing I do is once I get in the camera, if it's not just right off the bat, I take and adjust it to 5,000 Kelvin and then adjust my saturation and my vibrance a little bit. And I play with it a little bit. If they come out real pink and blue, I yank that thing over to 50,000 Kelvin and it straighten out. And then I do the same thing with my vibrance and saturation, play a little bit with it. Hopefully this helped out a little bit. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers. It's been great, and we need your help. So please go ahead. If you found anything useful in this video, please like and subscribe. We appreciate you showing up and watching our videos, and thank you very much.